All right, mathletes, here we are doing and looking at compound interest. So before we've talked about simple interest, where we're just making interest on our original investment. So if we started out with €1,000 on simple interest at 10%, well, 10% of 1,000 is 100. So every year we would make an extra $100 of interest on our account. So after 3 years, okay, we would have had a total of $1,300, earning $300 worth of interest. Okay, with compound interest, not only are we making interest on our investment, but we're also going to make interest on the interest we made the previous year. So you can see, instead of on our second year, so it's the same thing for the first year, but by the second year, when we take 10%, we're taking 10% of our previous year's account. So now we're actually going to make interest on that. So 10% of that is going to be 110, and adding that to our next year, we're going to get 1,210, and then 10% of 1,210. Hey, we're going to get €120 of interest. Adding that, we see how much money we would have in the third year. Notice it is typically a better deal, or you'll get more money from something that is calculated with compound interest, because not only are you getting interest on the money of your original at the beginning, but also on the investments year by year. Okay, so let's look at an example here. So how much interest will I earn if I invest $10,000 for 3 years at 15%? So first year, second year, third year. Okay, so the first year we're going to get 15%. So 15% of 10,000 is going to be 1,500. Okay, so every year we're going to get the same thing, so we multiply that by 3. Okay, so we're going to get that on year 2, and we're going to get that on year 3. So how much total did we make? We made 4,500 on interest in 3 years at simple interest at 15%. Okay, well, now let's consider compound interest. Okay, so our compound interest, we're going to take 15% of our 1,000, and we are going to, again, the first year is going to be the same. Okay, but we're going to add that to our original investment. Okay, and then we're going to take 15% of that. So 10,000 plus 1,500 is 1,100, or 11,500. We're going to calculate the interest on that, and we'll get and we get 15% of 11,500, and we get 1,725. Okay, so then we add that to what we had the previous year. So then now we're taking 15% interest on 13,225. And then, so this year we're going to make 1,983.75. Okay. So our total interest over the 3 years are those three numbers added together. So I get $5,208.75. So we can see significantly more compared to the 4,500 that we made with simple interest. Okay. So let's look at how we can calculate this for our future values. Okay, so our equation that we want to make sure we highlight in our notes is that our future value is equal to our present value times the quantity 1 plus our interest rate, okay, n. So since we're multiplying repeatedly by our interest rate, and we do 1 plus because we're preserving that 100% of our value and we're adding our I, okay. So because that's being repeated and multiplied through the years, repeated multiplication is represented by exponents, okay, where n is the number of years in the investment. So this equation is going to work for us when we're compounded annually. And then so if we want to find how much actual money we just made on compound interest, realize that we have to look at the future value minus our previous value, and that will tell us the money that we've actually made in interest alone. So let's look at an example here. Okay, what will 5,000 invested at 8% per annum on compound interest amount to after 2 years? Okay, so I'm going to do 5,000, my present value, times 1 plus 0.08, okay, to the second power, n being 2. Okay, so using a calculator, I'm going to type that in. And we're going to see that our future value after 2 years is 5,832. So if we want to figure out how much we made in interest alone on part B, okay, we're going to take 5,832. And again, we should remember our units, so we are dealing with dollars. Okay, so 5,832, subtract away our 5,000. And we're going to see that we made $832 of interest in 2 years at 8%. And that highlights our notes for today. Please highlight any questions you might have and bring them to class tomorrow.